According to one of the representatives from the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, he says, and again, this is this same sort of utopian feel good messaging that you get from these sort of government officials. There is a better way to manage the river. Working together, we must develop equitable, that's a key word, equitable, realistic solutions that reduce reliance on the river by increasing water efficiency across agriculture and urban communities, developing new alternative supplies, and reframing the way we manage water as a basin. Fortunately, this wet winter has provided some space to develop those solutions. Okay, so let's break that down. Well, first of all, he's right on some of this. I mean, we do need to develop alternative supplies of water. Now, we already got the desalination plant that's in Carlsbad, which is doing great as far as I know, but I know it takes a tremendous amount of energy to convert that into pure water. And it has a lot of bile, kind of like a lot of salt, um, what would you call it, waste that's generated from that process. So that gets a little difficult to manage. But they're generating at, like, last I checked, it was 10 to 12% of the water supply in San Diego County comes from the desal plant. Good on them. Meanwhile, the city of San Diego has the Pure Water Initiative where they're converting wastewater. I mean, this is the toilet to tap initiative that freaked people out, but this is science that's wonderful. I mean, they're converting wastewater into pure water that's fresher and cleaner and purer than what we get from the Colorado River, which, by the way, probably isn't saying much because the water from the river is really mineral laden, and God knows what's floating around in that water, including, water that's been circulating with dead bodies from the mafia that were sunk in Lake Mead. But the Pure Water Initiative, I think, is fantastic. I mean, to me, this is a huge win. So imagine if instead of depending on the river, we were able to manufacture our own water by either converting seawater to drinking water or to recycle the water that we're already using. And then imagine in places like in Arizona, where there's just been a huge boom of migration and housing, particularly from Californians that are escaping the high cost of living in California. Imagine then that Arizona could generate more of their own water through recycling, or in other cases, desal plants pumping the water eastbound rather than pumping water from the river westbound to San Diego. Why not use desal plants to pump the water eastbound towards Arizona? See, in the end, I think a lot of these climate related issues, like water, are going to be overcome by technology. They're going to be overcome by people just using their mind and coming up with new innovative solutions, as opposed to conserving. A lot of times they'll tell you to conserve, but that's just not realistic, particularly as the population keeps growing.